It's a Fog Football special. We've got the daily transfer roundup video without any transfers. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Why does Scottish football do this to us? I do not know, but it's been a really quiet day in the transfer market. Nothing has really been completed. Nothing has been made official, but we do have rumours, so thank God for those rumours. And that's actually where we're going to start, because it looks like Rangers defender Ridvan Yilmaz is once again a target. He this time is wanted by Turkish Super League side FENERBACHE, and it has been reported by the Scottish Sun that they are going to put in a big bid in order to try and lure the defender back to Turkey from Rangers after 1 year. Now, we know Ridvan Yilmaz joined Rangers from Turkey. Would he want to go back? It seems like a waste of a year, a sidestep move, if ever there was one. I think there's a real chance for Ridvan Yilmaz this year to break into the starting 11 for Rangers. I think by the end of the season, if he does stay, he could see himself as the new Rangers #1. And I think it would be a bit silly for him to move on this early. I think he should definitely stick around at Ibrox for this season and see how things play out.
He should do that, he will do that, and he will be the #1 at left back, because Barisic just ain't good enough. Let's be real, he's not been good enough for a while. He's always had a mistake in him. Yilmaz is what, 22? He's the future.
What surprises me though is there seems to be a lot of interest this summer for Ridvan Yilmaz, and that is confusing because he hasn't exactly had the greatest 12 months at Rangers. I mean, for most of it he hasn't featured, and when he did get a rare start, he's been okay, but I wouldn't say he's blown my mind. He certainly hasn't blown away anybody with performances. There's maybe like 1 or 2 performances where you thought, you know what, maybe there's a player here. Maybe this guy could overtake Barisic. But I haven't seen standout performances from Yilmaz. And now we have all these other teams in Turkey that have been linked with him lately. I mean, Galatasaray has been linked with him about a month ago. Now Fenerbahce are linked with him, and I just wonder why these teams weren't interested, why these teams didn't just sign him directly from Besiktas.
Well, maybe because they're rivals, that could be one, but he is highly thought of. He was one of the highly thought of young left backs in the world, in Europe. Rangers managed to get him, so...
Yeah, but I would imagine his stock has went down since Rangers got him. I can't think it's went up.
I would say it's probably about the same, personally, because he's been hampered with injuries. And honestly, I think every time he's played, he's been good. I don't think he's actually ever been bad. Maybe we could beat 3-0 by Napoli, but I mean, who was actually good in that game? Let's be real.
Alan McGregor.
Oh yeah, well no, I'm talking about the one away.
Alright,
Naples.
Anyway, let's move on. Hibs could be potentially set to miss out on £1.4 million for Josh Doig, as it looks like he could be joining Torino, but in a swap deal. So this would basically just wipe out the 27.5% sell-on clause fee that the Edinburgh club inserted, which is a very good fee, and this is a great deal. But I would feel a bit bad for Hibs if they lose out on this completely, because Josh Doig decides that he doesn't decide nothing, but Torino decide that they're going to swap a player for him rather than pay Hellas Verona. So, I mean, Hibs can't really control this, but after getting such a good sell-on clause negotiated in that contract, it would be a huge blow for them to miss out on that money.
It is a cheap way of just getting around that clause though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it makes sense.
But I don't understand though what they could put in place for that not to happen.
I mean, if Torino have a player that they value at, let's say, 7 million, and they want to trade him for Josh Doig, it makes sense, because then they don't have to pay any of the 7 million that they would get, the Hellas Verona would get. They don't have to pay any of that to Hibs. Instead, all they're getting is a £7 million player that they get to keep to themselves. So, I mean, it makes sense for Hellas Verona. And if Torino can get a player that they want by trading a player that they don't want, then it makes sense for them as well. So we can get Torino winning for this, you can get Hellas Verona winning for this, but the team that ultimately will lose it from this is Hibernian if the deal goes ahead.
And it looks like that they're going to lose it. And Hibs, they could have used that money. 1.4 million is not a wee jobber amount, is it?
No, it's a good amount of money. Speaking of good amounts of money, Feyenoord have accepted Rangers' latest bid for Danilo, so it looks like Rangers might finally get their man after multiple bids being rejected. Now it all seems to be down to Danilo and if he truly wants a move to Glasgow.
Of course he does, man. 39 grand a week, can't turn that down. Doubling his Feyenoord wages. What happened to the mighty Spfl not having money, guys, huh?
Rangers have got all the money.
I don't know, I tell you what, if they get Danilo over the line and they bring in Cifuentes,
what a transfer window.
And they're looking at another centre-back.
Celtic, man, should be shaking in
Celtic
their boots.
are on the fucking ropes.
Celtic are on the ropes and they're ready for the KO punch. But speaking of KO punches, this could be a KO punch to Scottish football as we know it. Because it looks like Aberdeen are the latest team that are going to slash away attendances, and they're making changes to Pittodrie, and Press and Journal are reporting that they could be cutting away attendances to as little as 300.
That's
in the future. I don't want this. I hate the Old Firm games now where you've either got 700 of the away fans or no away fans. It's completely killed the atmosphere of Old Firm matches, and I think the last thing we need is other teams with big stadiums and big atmospheres, such as, because we know Aberdeen Rangers, it's a big game, especially at Pittodrie. It's a hard game for Rangers, and I don't know, I mean, just it would be better if Rangers go to Pittodrie and they're taking a couple of thousand fans with them.
Yeah, you can bring 300 fans, right? Most often than not, the Old Firm's winning away from home. The atmosphere's going to be dead. It's not good. It's not a good look. Here, I'm not saying they've got to facilitate. Like, at the end of the day, if they would rather their own fans, I think that's fair enough. But I think it's dark ages that the rest of the league are now beginning to copy the Old Firm. For me personally, because you could be looking at a situation where stadiums are 50% full.
Who started this shite? Was it? Well, I mean, let's be real. Let's be real. I mean, Aberdeen might implement it. You're never going to get a Livingston implementing this.
Yeah, but you've seen St Mirren have said they're going to do it.
Yeah, because they actually get decent attendances.
Point is, what started this is when Celtic were pumping Rangers at home, 5-0. Like, well, we don't want a full stand of them fucking celebrating.
So Rangers are to blame?
Pretty sure, yeah.
There you go.
I don't know for 100%, but I'm willing to bet good money. But that's fair enough. Maybe they can reopen it once they do 10 in a row.
But no, they can't, no, because they're selling more season tickets now. I don't see how we ever go back to seeing 7,000 at Old Firm games for away fans.
Just take it back to the European one, which is 3,000, which is the corner and a bit of it, rather than 800.
Ideally, I think it'd be good if you just give the away teams the full stand behind the goal.
Yeah,
but then again, it's hard because some away teams are going to bring a much bigger fan base. So it's
the police aren't going to be in favour of it.
Yeah, well, it's probably for safety reasons. This whole no away fans is probably a good thing. But in terms of an atmosphere in the game, it's shit. Especially when the away team is winning, because the stadium just dies.
It dies.
So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. There's your transfer news for today. Till next time. Peace.